Welcome to the pod. You are listening to What the Reality with me, Cassie Roberts, and we are back with another Toxic Tuesday episode. Every time I don't record throughout the week and I just record on like Monday, it always feels like so long until I see and talk to you guys again. So now, because it is daylight savings, I have to rely on my light again, or I have to like try to record earlier and catch the sun. But this light, I swear, washes me out. Like, I swear I'm not this light. Like, I actually have, like, I'm actually pretty brown, but this light, I swear, it washes me out. Like, sometimes I look so washed out. Either way, this is the lighting we have. It's a good light. It's just, I don't know. Every time I record, I feel like I look washed out. Like, where's the pigment? Anyway, we are coming from a Halloween weekend. The celebrities did not do their big one, but I don't know the last time I really like saw a celebrity do something like really good. We're gonna talk about it actually because I do remember. But yes, this Halloween was chill or whatever. I hope you guys trick or treat, got your candy, don't get any cavities. But I want to get right into the reality topics, and we actually do have a toxic talks topic. We have one singular one because it is so toxic. I can't include it in the toxic segment. I know sometimes I do the toxic segment, sometimes I don't, but I'm gonna do it. First of all, I want to talk about Halloween looks, and I might for the YouTuber people like put it on my screen. I want to go. These are like the top 5 people I've just seen on the internet that I thought did a really good job. And who's taking it for me is honestly Kayla Nicole, who embodied Toni Braxton's from her music video, He Wasn't Man Enough for Me. Like, honestly, that was so freaking good. Down to the outfit, to the movements, to the literal visions. You are the visuals, baby. Like, it was so good. She did that to a T. And you guys know Taylor Swift's flop album, her recent album. Her fans really weren't even feeling it. So that's why I'm calling it flop, because even the fans wasn't really feeling it. But she's talking about Kayla Nicole or like sub dissing her or whatever. And Kayla Nicole basically clapped back for Halloween saying he was not man enough for me. And clearly he was not. And she kind of just ended the conversation, and I just love a petty woman. Every once in a while, I do love a good petty woman, a nice little catty petty woman. I feel like that's exactly what Kayla Nicole was giving. Her look 8, and it's just like, it's never a question to me who you would want, because look at Kayla Nicole and then look at Taylor Swift. Like, boy, he done lost all his season in being with Taylor Swift, so I really think he's a fraud. He's definitely giving me like Kourtney Kardashian, like whoever he dates, he just morphs into this person. Cause like, you lost all of your swag points as soon as you started dating Taylor Swift. Like, you don't even dress how you was dressing. Like, at least keep the same energy. Like, he looks totally different. But I was totally here for Kayla Nicole, and that look got a whole 10, 10, 10, 10, 10 out of me, because I was just like, you know what? If you're going to bring up my name on your album to all your crazy fans, which I don't think the Swifties are crazy, not as crazy as another fan base we're about to talk about, but if you're going to bring me up, then at least let's talk about it. Let's for real talk about it. Kayla Nicole's Halloween, she did a really good job. I was impressed. Black Twitter's impressed. TikTok's impressed. All of us are impressed. I think that's the way to like kind of end the conversation. And I will be shocked if Taylor Swift says anything else. Like, what is there to literally say? I always hit my chin on the mic and I'm like taking it back. What else is there to say? Someone else who always shuts it down, Heidi Klum. She was a version of Medusa. Never knew Medusa even looked that crazy. Heidi Klum always goes all out though. She always goes all out. And then who else did we see? In terms of couples, the only couple, I didn't see any couples costumes that I was like, OMG, besides like Serena and Cordell from Love Island, like the icy girl. And then I think he was like supposed to be the icy man, but I still didn't really get it. it was a nice one, but I just didn't understand it. You know who had really good ones? Ace and Shelly. They did Friday, they did Nia Long, and Ice Cube, and then they did Michelle and Barack Obama. They were doing a couple of them, and then I think Shelly for Halloween actually did Regina George because everyone loves to call her a mean girl. So I thought that was good. Their run was really good. They did Nelly and Kelly Rowland. They had a couple. I'm like, dang, how many are you gonna be doing next year? They did like a whole bunch of them. Someone else that was really funny, Tyla, she did the gif of Nivea laughing, and it's like the grainy image and everything. And she even did it like to the T of the quality of the gif. So now we're using that gif because they low key look the same. Like Tyla did the same thing. I think Tyla's hilarious. I'm so glad her song Chanel is like doing amazing right now because I really like that song and I really like Tyla, and I just hate how like people see these young black women in the industries, her and Doshi, they've like said that they're industry plants. And I'm like, no, they are not. You're just mad and jealous. Sierra did a really good job. Okay, two Sierras. Speaking of Sierra from Summer House, Sierra from Summer House was posting Brantley on her TikTok saying, I would hate to be a Brantley for Halloween. And, or like, the worst thing coming across during Halloween is a Brantley. And she posted her Brantley costume that she did this past season of Summer House, which like basically just like a white man in finance in New York City. And then I'm talking about the singer Sierra. She embodied Michael Jackson down to the swoop of Remember the Time. That was a good costume. And then we are going to talk about Winnie Harlow's, which is kind of, we're going to talk about two actually. I mean, the second one I'm about to mention is not good, but Winnie Harlow's I thought was funny, and it's just so crazy. It was good. I love anything Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown. Like I love those couples ones when they're always like in the like shop getting some sunglasses or something and they're like dancing, because I just think it's iconic. I do love a good pop culture moment. I've been loving all of the Nene Leakes ones. I love all of the Tisha Campbell ones when she's like singing I'm Still Here. Like I love pop culture Halloween costumes that are like hilarious. But Winnie Harlow did Whitney Houston. And it's so funny because it's like on TikTok, the people loved it. Like it was full of like comments like, oh my gosh, this is hilarious. Like you did this so well. She did it so good. And then they're on Twitter, which I low-key think is now like more sensitive. On Twitter, they were like, why are you making fun of this moment? She was clearly in a very dark place because, it was the infamous BET, I'm a Survivor, when she gave that award, like that speech and everything of like the thanks, the congratulations and stuff. And she was clearly in a fragile place. She was clearly high on, but they're saying you're using that as your Halloween costume, which I think it's iconic. It's a pop culture moment. It's like, how do you not like, talk about it? I mean, how do you not recreate that? And I'm like, out of all the body types in Hollywood, it would be Winnie Harlow because they have like the same body type. Obviously, Winnie Harlow is a model though. But I thought hers was good. I did not think it was honestly that deep, in my opinion. But I don't know. People were upset about it on Twitter versus on TikTok. Other people were fine with it. Or TikTok, they were fine with it. So it is just funny seeing the two contrasting audiences of like, oh my gosh, this is totally inappropriate versus like, this is so hilarious. Because I thought Twitter could take a joke, but you know what? Twitter is actually sensitive. I want to talk about Julia. Why am I blanking on her name? Who dated Kanye? Why am I blanking literally on her name? What's her name? Julia Fox. Julia Fox did Jackie Kennedy's outfit, but it was literally it was like a remake. Well, it was literally the outfit after Robert F. Kennedy got assassinated, and it was her. She was in the car with him when she got assassinated. And you know what's crazy is like I knew this, but like I wouldn't have known the depths of all of this until I watched The Crown. I've watched The Crown now on Netflix. I have like 3 episodes left. I've been holding off like until I'm like completely done. And I like watched that episode obviously when the Kennedys meet the Queen and stuff. And just that whole episode, like, I didn't know she kept like the outfit on and stuff. Like, I'm sure I did know, like, growing up as a scholar or whatever, but not as a scholar. Who do I think I am? But I didn't know until I watched The Crown. I don't even know where I left off. Okay. Anyway, yes, so now I don't know. Was it tone deaf for literally Julia Roberts to use that? Yes, very tone deaf, because there was literal her blood, the blood of, did I say Robert? I definitely meant John. Like, it's like the blood of him was literally on Jackie Kennedy. So it's just like, I don't even know why Julia Fox would do that. Um, Let me see. Yeah, it was just, I don't know if it was the most. I said Robert F. Kennedy. I'm thinking about that bozo that is in charge of the CDC. It was definitely, I meant to say John, but literally I don't know why she would do that. I feel like that's like the most tone deaf thing you could literally do. Um yeah, that was not a good costume. I mean, obviously, she's facing a lot of backlash, but you know what? Halloween come and go. We'll talk about it until we see the next crappy costume. But yes, now it is officially Mariah Carey time, and we are ushering into that space. I want to talk about this very toxic talk. But yes, I don't really do toxic talks because I'm just like, some I mean, it's something's always given toxic when I record on these Tuesdays, but today specifically we have to talk about the Huda Mustafa situation with Alandria Carthen. So Huda and her lame ass boyfriend Louis, who was really hoping to become the next Miguel to Leah, which is just never going to happen. They were caught on Instagram Live, and a caller was consistently calling in. Apparently, they finally decided to answer. They answer, and this caller has clearly said that Alandria is a hard N with a hard R. She said Alandria is a NR. No words. So for me, if somebody was doing that, even if I didn't like this person, and if I was a white person or anyone that was in black, I would probably just hang up. They, however, laughed, and it was very weird. They laughed. And then I think, okay, so she laughed. All right, let me play devil's advocate. You laugh. It's what followed afterwards. Immediately after, because they knew how that was going to be taken out, she said, I'm sick of all this rage bait. I didn't even hear what she said. But it's like, you clearly heard what she said. It's so clear you heard what she said. So it's like just the lack of not taking accountability. Let me see if I can find her like first official statement of what Huda said after the whole incident, because I don't I don't know. Like, it's just so unfortunate. Like, I remember watching Love Island last season, enjoying it so much. Like, it wasn't as dark. And then it's like, even the seasons before, it wasn't as dark. It really seems as though season 7 was just super dark. Like, and it just had no, I don't understand why it has gotten this dark, and it's literally because of Huda's fan base. Either way, she did not take accountability at all. She did not take accountability. But I want to show what she was saying. I should have honestly had this pulled up. Sorry guys. I'm normally a little bit more prepared, but I literally I just can't. I cannot with all of this stuff that is going on. Um what I'm trying to figure out, what did she literally, I don't know what she said at first, because of course it might be taken down, but it was so clear that the person had said this. So this has caused a whole social media backlash, all of this stuff, yada, 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 as it should. It was so clear what was said. It was so clear the actions. And they really tried to act like they did not hear what was said. And then they were like, well, she's not racist. Like, do not turn this into that. And then Huda said, this is going to be rage bait, all of this stuff. This season has been very dark, and it kind of makes me just like not want to watch Love Island again. It's crazy because I used to want to be on Love Island. I could not deal with Alandria, Shelley, Janae deal with, like, Aunt Serena because the fans are even more racist than ever these days. And it's just so crazy because it's like you're going so hard for this Middle Eastern woman that don't even stand up for the issues y'all want her to be standing up for. And it's just honestly sickening to see you guys attack Alandria constantly. And so now you're like attacking Amaya because Amaya has spoken out about this. Iris now. You have the makeup community speaking out about it because Huda's main brand deal was this allegedly $1 million brand deal with Huda Beauty. And I love Huda Beauty. Like, I really do. But I do know Huda Beauty has been in the crossfires of a lot of low key, stuff. Like, they've just been in the crossfires a lot, like a lot of scandal, a lot of, just stuff. Very interesting. So I don't know. I just think Huda Beauty's made the right decision. So they have dropped her. She's lost. Allegedly, this was like $1 million brand deal, and they're getting rid of all of their packaging and stuff with her. My thing is like, this is not new for Huda. She's been very on tune with racism. She's been very on tune with her against Black women and calling them her ops or bullies, all this stuff, even the Black men. We see how disposable Black people are to Huda. She did it with Jeremiah. She did it with Chris. She did it with Alandria. She did it with Shelly. Like, anyone Black, like, she's like, I'm going to victimize myself. She pulls out the tears. Like, we've seen this. This is her pattern. So it's not shocking to me. What is shocking to me is that Huda Beauty actually followed up and dropped it. So I would like to read Alandria's statement after all of this stuff happened. And she said, I do not condone racism of any kind. Like, it's so clear what the caller said. And it's just so clear what the caller said. So for Huda and Louis to be like, we're not even racist, and Louis saying he's not racist, he's Black, that don't mean nothing. You're not even fully Black, you're mixed. So it's like, and there's no shade, no tea, but it's like, y'all be the most racist towards your own. Like, it's not like you can be Black, you can be mixed and still be racist towards Black people. And it's so clear you guys are racist towards Alandria. But Alandria's statement was like, I do not condone racism of any kind, nor do I entertain it. That kind of language is never acceptable, not in anger, not as a joke, not ever. Words like that carry generations of pain, and pretending otherwise only keeps the cycle going. Defending it, laughing about it, or making excuses is even worse. I will not let this moment derail my purpose of uplifting my community. I'm standing firm and who I am, and asking this as an opportunity to call for real accountability and awareness. We all have a role in building a culture where speaking to one another with respect is the standard, and where speaking against hate speech is the bare minimum. Retweet. While I anticipate this will result in surface level apologies that fade in a few days, I'd like to transform this moment into something actionable. I encourage those who have participated in the stream and their followers to demonstrate a genuine commitment to anti-racism by donating to organizations and foundations dedicated to educating and uplifting this community, such as the UNCF, the NAACP, and or the Thurgood Marshall College Fund. I will be making a personal donation as well. In the next slides, I'll be sharing donation links to contribute in support of HBCUs and underfunded educational resources for Black students. And I just love that she really turned that into an inspiring moment and really changed the subject from, let's not focus on what this streamer and these two low lives are doing in their life, and let's really focus it on, putting money where our mouths is. And Huda, of course, made more of an apology, or of somewhat, which I do have, because I had to argue with someone in the comments because I was literally just like, I'm so glad she's done in the industry. And people are like, what do you mean the industry? I mean exactly that. It looks like she's done in the industry. Her literal biggest brand deal that was making her the most money was just swiped. Gymshark has swiped all of their acknowledgement with her. NFL has done with her. Like I said, she's done in the industry. Someone was like, she's clearly not. Her followers aren't changing. Followers in the industry are two different things. These followers aren't paying her. You know who's paying her? The industry. So when I say she's done in the industry, I mean she's done in the industry. And look at that, she's done. I am shocked that Huda Beauty made that move. only reason I think Huda Beauty made that move is because the Sephora sales going on right now, and they know the girls are out shopping, especially for holiday and stuff, and they do not want their pockets hurting because real makeup creators that have held them down since day one, not a viral reality TV star. I'm talking about Uche. I'm talking about Jackie, Ina, real makeup women, the ones that you really want the real respect from, the ones that have the real follower influence. These aren't teenagers following Uche, Jackie Ina, who else? There were so many makeup artists that spoke out about it. These aren't just teenagers following them. It's people like me that are, if I see Uche use something, the base queen, I'm going to follow and use it. You know what I mean? These are people with real influence. Huda has followers, and a lot of them are bought because they don't want her to reach a certain level, but a lot of them are teenagers. So it's like, who would you rather have the influence of? A real influencer that knows what they're doing with makeup, or someone just because of the likeliness of their name? Answer me that. And it looks like they made a decision. So I love how whoever wanted to say, what do you mean? You sound dumb saying she's done in the industry. Like, what's the industry? I mean exactly what's happening right now. People are canceling Huda Mustafa, and it is long overdue. And you know what? Her downfall was always going to be her nasty spirit and her racist heart, because that's what she is. And she's a professional victim. And I really do hope she gets canceled. And I really do hope cancel culture kicks in full speed, because her and her crazy HQ fans, I called them the hoodlums, are literally crazy. And it's nothing but a bunch of 19-year-olds. So now Huda has taken the time after Alandria spoken out about it. Keep in mind, people are speaking out about it. And then she was like, I've taken. Also, let's take into the fact this isn't Huda's first racism instant. This isn't the first time that there's been a hiccup and she's had a scandal of this magnitude. As soon as she got out the villa, her friends were very aggressive towards Alandria and Shelly. And Alandria and Shelly asked her to make a statement about, like, you not condoning racism, and she never did it. Whereas Leah, who was also the people's princess last season and still is, handled it so well, telling her fans, especially at the reunion, especially towards Andrea, let's not inflict hate or racism. Huda can never do that because she's on a power trip. She could not believe that she was this well liked, and she's not well liked not by sane people. She really isn't. There is a group of people that have been preying on her downfall, and that I am one of them. I don't prey on her downfall, but I am very happy that this woman is out of the industry. Like, I really am. So this was her statement. She said, I've taken the majority of the day to reflect and collect my thoughts to make sure this didn't come off as disingenuous. Last night, I quickly posted a statement acknowledging my reaction to the racial slur that was said on Louis' live stream. I want to take this moment to more fully take accountability for my actions. This is so ChatGPT. I want to begin by saying I completely respect Alandria, and it's extremely disheartening that anyone, especially a presumed child, would find it excusable to use this type of language, and doing so only underlines the ignorance of the gravity that such a word carries. Like, what? You literally just asked ChatGPT to give you a professional email response. Like, this makes no sense. Alandria, and there's the ChatGPT dash, even though I do love a good dash. It is now clear that this comment was targeted at you. She said it is now clear that this comment was targeted at you. And I apologize for my immediate reaction. My reaction in that moment came from being caught off guard, not from finding the word or situation funny. It was a nervous, uncomfortable reaction that I recognized was inappropriate. I want to be clear that I do not condone or tolerate anyone who uses this language, and I strongly encourage the individual responsible to reflect deeply on their words and the harm they've caused, especially the harm they've caused to your pockets. I'm making a personal donation to the NAACP. Why can I never say that? The NAACP, and encourage anyone who feels moved to do the same. I will also share a list. Yada, yada, yada. With love, Huda. Little did she know that would be the end of that. Because she is actually done in the industry. That is what happens when you are ignorant. So let's see. So Huda Beauty has plugged her from their biggest collaboration. And let's read that statement. So Huda Beauty dropped this. When was this? 3 days ago? Friday? Yeah, I'm telling you, Huda Beauty, she's smart because she's like, we have the Sephora sale coming up. Do we really not want people shopping our products in the Sephora sale? Because I was totally prepared to get the Kosas press powder. I still am going to get it, and I'm not going to be talking about using Huda Beauty products on my TikTok because I'm just not going to do that. So Huda Beauty said, at Huda Beauty, kindness and humanity are at the heart of everything we do. Unfortunately, one of our recent collaborators has displayed behavior that does not align with our values. We are truly disappointed by Huda Mustafa's recent live and will take all forms of racism very seriously. While we don't believe her actions reflect her character, we found them deeply unsettling. Um, Yikes. I think that was a typo. We know that many, it says unsetting. I think it should be unsettling. Anyway, we know, see, a beauty brand needs to hire me. I can be in charge of this PR stuff. Like, this is what I like to do, y'all. We know that many members of our community and team were hurt and offended by these actions. While we valued the partnership we had with Huda, her recent behavior and the way the situation has been handled does not reflect our brand's principles. As a result, we have decided to end our partnership and remove any related content from our social platforms and in-store displays. Accountability is incredibly important in moments like this, and we hope that meaningful change can come from it. And apparently Huda is now out in the comment section saying she did not think this would be blown out of proportion. And honestly, it's crazy because Huda's biggest downfall will always be a man. She's so thirsty, she's so male centered, and it's crazy because she put Louis on this pedestal. You thought this man had your back, and this man has been trying to sabotage you since you guys got in a relationship. And also, you're just not a good person. I think she should take whatever money she does have and hopefully invest that into her daughter's tuition if she even really takes care of her kid, because Huda, you're just not a good person. She just reminds me of one of those people that are not a good person. And I'm just so glad that she's done in the industry, and I stand on what I said. That is one thing I will do, is stand on what I said to that one Twitter account that was like, what industry? You are now learning the industry. Let's move on because we're talking Salt Lake City and Potomac today. And I really am talking Salt Lake City because that episode was amazing. I took my notes on it and I was like, I have to talk about it. It was so good. But it is so dark out and it's only 6 o'clock. Like, daylight savings helped me though, because I was slumped yesterday. VPR dropped their trailer. I don't know if I talked about this on the pod. I don't know if I don't know if I talked about it on the pod in my earlier episodes. Listen to all my episodes. But I said it just looked like a fugly group of people. A motley crew. And now I'm seeing the trailer and I stand by that. I didn't see one hot person. And that kind of sucks. They just all look like, in the words of Mary M. Cosby, they all kind of looked inbred. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't like to talk about people's looks because sometimes you really can't control that. And I think I'm gorgeous. If someone might think I'm like the most hideous cat walking, like, I don't know. I don't like to talk about looks, but when I tell you it looks like a scientist went to the lab and concocted all of these faces, that's what it's given. Like, nobody looks genuinely to themselves. I don't know if it's too much Botox. I don't know if there was too much filler going on, but everyone looks a little crazy to me. They don't look well, like, at all. I don't know. I don't know what this is. Okay, I just got like a message on Instagram. I'm never on Instagram, so when I get one, I'm just kind of like normally people just text me because I'm not on Instagram. Like, if you want me to see something on Instagram, just send it to me via text. Anyway, they just don't look that well. Should we play the trailer? I don't know. If I play the trailer, I think I get like tagged for like copyright or whatever, but we can play it. We'll play it. And of course, I do not own the rights to this video, but let's just play it. And then I'm going to play it for my I'm going to play it for YouTube as well, but let's play it in the mic. Your wife and says, Blanca's where you take your wife and says, where you take your mistress. I am the devil, and don't you forget it. Your man made out with my friends. Rotten hill. Tell me the truth. Tell me you were sleeping with Ariana behind my back. You go your way, I go my way. I regret ever loving you.
It's funny. I did used to say, "Sir's where you take your mistress," but now it's probably where you meet her. We're open. I've always said with my staff, give me anything, but don't give me boring. Everybody, this is Angelica. Oh my God. I honestly work with idiots.
Do you think aquamarine is a great name for this costume?
Is it gay at all?
We want it to be gay.
That's what I'm saying. It's not gay.
Gay? I've worked here for 2 years. This is my family, and they're all telling me that they hate me. Natalie is really nice, and then she's crazy. Do you just not like me? Like, just tell me.
We're able to work, party, have sex.
Oh my goodness. Right here, right there?
I found a penis pump.
Oh, what?
Penis pump. For a man that needs help.
Athletes stretch. I pump. You know, we all have a routine.
I find myself in coworker and relationships pretty quickly. Hey, I found your Hinge profile, and it says that you believe in monogamy.
And that wasn't updated.
Part of why it's hard for me to commit. I get terrified about what about all the other chicks.
Shane was coming on to you again. Oh my God. Do I need to, stab you?
Shane's my boy. When it comes to bro cook, you don't do that shit.
There was a boundary crossed with the way that you were texting him.
I felt backstabbed by you.
Venus is coming at our relationship.
I don't want to be friends with you. Why now? Why now? How I feel right now.
See you later, brother.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. You can leave.
The dick pump thing, and you talked about it to everybody.
She showed me a video. I saw ass, I saw dick. I was traumatized.
You're a dumb bitch.
Be very careful.
I'm tired of being the bad guy.
At the end of the day, the high road.
The high road is bullshit.
This is Sir. We're a family. They're not perfect, but they're mine.
This job is all I have. I know I need help.
I was scared of everyone because I was afraid of people finding out that I was gay.
Is this totally necessary?
Get fried, Lisa.
Oh, me.
I will say on TikTok, it has over 30K likes. I was one of the people that was actually really excited about this cast shakeup because I felt like, and I've talked about this on one of my previous episodes, I feel like the point of literally Vanderpump Rules was to follow these teens, young adults my age that are trying to make it in LA. And it's like we hit a certain point around season 4. For real, season 3 people was feeling themselves, but I would say season 4, season 5, we're kind of seeing these people see the fruition to the show, and it wasn't really real. And I would say even we saw that, okay, they getting more expensive stuff, they moving into better apartments, we wanted to see that. But then when people started getting all the same homes, the drama was dry. No one really worked at Sir. When people did not need to work at Sir anymore, I just kind of felt like, what is the point of Vanderpump Rules? The point of it is that people work at Sir. And I have the most controversial opinion because I genuinely did think season 9, season 10, whenever they were bringing in the newer people, and Katie still does it with her podcast with the one lady, she's blonde, and I remember when Brett and them were on there, I actually liked that season because it was fresh drama and it was a new group of people working there, because I knew Jackson and them, they weren't really working there. They were all right, I'll do a shift to film, but they didn't really need to work there because they were making so much money. And I actually liked that season. So I was one of the people when they were saying this is going to get rebooted, it's time, I was agreeing because I don't think reality TV needs to last that long. I do think they should have came up with a new name. It's kind of giving OG Roni, and then you're just naming the new Roni the same, underneath the same seasons, which I don't think you should do. I think it should have a new name. I think it should have been called Vanderpump Rules. A eras or something, a different era. But I don't know, when you look at stuff like the Real World, MTV The Challenge, it was always a different cast and it just worked. But you got these shows, the real premise of these shows, I think you do got to shift the name a little bit. But I know that goes deeper into with IP stuff. If you own the intellectual property of a show's name and stuff, you probably don't want to switch it. So maybe that's why they didn't do it. But I don't know. I'm initially excited, but I look at that crew and I'm I don't think any of you guys are hooking up. It's not believable to me. So I just hope it's not manufactured drama, because I did really try to watch Vanderpump Villa and I thought that was honestly terrible. I really thought it was terrible. Like, it was so fake, and I'm so shocked it keeps getting renewed. But I'm also one of those people that are like a LVP. I'm not an LVP stan because I'm in my current rewatch of Beverly Hills. I do prefer LVP over Kyle, but I'm just like, I do like LVP, so I'm just happy to see her in her show back on Bravo on Period, because I do want to see that. Speaking of, I guess our like last topic, because I do want to get into Salt Lake. It was such a good episode. And then we'll talk about Potomac. But today we're really talking about Salt Lake City because that episode was so good. I don't know if anyone has noticed this Justin Baldoni thing. So literally, the lawsuit's over. The trial's over. He failed to show up in court after all of this stuff, the documents, the Team Blake, the Team Justin. People were Team Justin. They were like, oh my gosh. Like, after all of this, he fails to show up in court. The whole lawsuit gets dropped. So I'm looking at this article from Page 6. I'm trying to see if this is like the best one I should even be looking at. Let me actually go to this one by People Magazine, because I think this one will have more information. So essentially, Justin Baldoni's $400 million defamation countersuit against Blake Lively has been formally ended by a judge on Friday, October 31st. The U.S. District Court Judge Louis Lemon signed a new order stating that Baldoni, 41, and his Wayfarer Studios co-plaintiffs had failed to file a further amended complaint after the court dismissed their case back in June. So the judge also said he'd contacted all parties October 17th to warn them that he'd be entering a final judgment to conclude the case. According to a document reviewed by People, Lively 38 was the only one to respond, asking the judge to declare the final judgment, but for her request for legal fees to remain active, which the judge agreed to. So then the district court didn't immediately respond. Okay, that's People. Baldoni's setback is the latest twist in the ends with us, yada, yada, yada. I don't know if this is a good one. Let me go to Page 6. Literally, it said he did not even show up. Let me see what New York Post is saying, because I need the nitty gritty. Okay, so it says, okay, so I guess that's just literally what People said. He failed to respond. And so now it's literally been tossed out. And it's just crazy to me. It's like, you did all of that for what? And you know what's the craziest thing is him, and I believe both stories. I believe he could possibly have been a little too much, and I believe that she totally tried to ransack his whole production. I believe both things, actually. But what's unfortunate in both cases, like, y'all both are about to have a hard time getting work in the industry, in my opinion. Like, I don't even know why they're both about to have a hard time getting work. It's just crazy to me that it kind of ended like that. I'm like, after all of that, that's how you wanted to play it? Like, you didn't even respond to the judge. I feel like that's such a wimp way to go out. And I feel like nobody's talking about it. Like, nobody's talking about it. VPR also supposed to be premiering December 2nd. And I know Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is premiering December 4th. They have a looming date, and the trailer is honestly coming very soon. And I'm not looking forward to it. I'm obsessed with Nobody Wants This. I actually watched it a second time, both seasons, and it's a really good show. It's like, it's becoming my comfort show. Like, I just really liked it. So I just have to say about Beverly Hills, Nobody Wants This. Like, I don't know anyone that's genuinely excited or happy about Beverly Hills returning. Like, I'm just like, it's so exhausting. And then I love, you always know Beverly Hills is returning because you get all of these articles of Kyle saying like her time's coming to, like, you know, probably leave the show, or like she's hinting at not coming back to the show. And then every season she comes back and she's like hinting at drama. Like, it's literally like the craziest PR work I've ever seen. It's like the same stuff every year. Like, she's like, I'm not going to do this. And it's like, you end up doing it. I'm just like, girl, what is going on? But let's move on to these reality TV recaps. I am so excited to recap Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Like, honestly, that was probably one of the best episodes of reality TV. Now I understand what Andy Cohen was saying. I thought it was such a good episode. Like, honestly, it was Real Housewives of Salt Lake City with Below Deck, and this is the first time we're actually seeing the guest point of view, and of course they just so happen to be housewives, versus like seeing the crew's point of view. But I did watch What Happens Live with Lisa Barlow, and Aaron Leachy was on there. So I'm like, Andy, well, I'm really hoping they start listening to the fans, because people are saying, even if you do bring some of the new people from Roni, let's mix in Luann. Let's bring back Dorinda. Let's bring back Sonia. The girls are ready. Let's bring back Carol. So I think Carol and Jenna Lyons know each other. Let's mix it in. Like, okay, Andy, I know you have a big ego. You don't want to admit the new Roni was a flop. Let's mix it in or something. Let's do something fun. Please put our girls back on air. Either way, on Watch Robin's Life, he said if you thought this episode was good, wait until you see the reverse episode where you see it from the staff's perspective, which we always see. But I just think Salt Lake City will remain a top tier franchise because they have done something other franchises haven't. You have now brought eyes to Below Deck Down Under. Now people are going to want to start watching Below Deck Down Under. And I think it was really smart, and this should have been done a long time ago. But the girls were lit. The swimsuits were also, it's just crazy to see Salt Lake City girls in swimsuits because they live in Salt Lake City. And I know Salt Lake City is not cold year round, but it is. They're every time they film, they're in, winter garments and stuff. So it is crazy to see them like in their shorts, their swimsuits, their bikinis and all that stuff, their summery stuff, because it's like we don't see that because most of the time they're in their ski wear. So honestly, this episode, I gave it 1,000 out of 10. This is probably like a good episode to literally just go back and watch because it was so chaotic. So the ladies show up. Of course, Captain Jason is the one. And I feel like if we were to do any cross-promotional episode, it would be Captain Jason, because these are a bunch of horny single women. Brittany then forgot Jared's name, and she is like, I am ready to get to know Captain Jason. But who wouldn't? I think Captain Jason is like honestly a really attractive person. But this episode just remains undefeatable. This was an amazing crossover. And I just think it's really smart because we're now getting eyes on Below Deck. And I feel like people don't really look at Below Deck. Like it's a comfort show, but people don't really take it serious. So I don't know. I just think it was really smart. So Heather is letting us know that if she was stranded on an island with Captain Jason, all she would need is literally condoms and a bikini. And you know what? I don't think she'd be the first person to say that. But Bronwyn does end up showing up. So when we last left off with Salt Lake City, she was not going to be showing up because of everything was out, and she was already, her and Todd insinuating that it was Lisa up to it, because they're saying when people are saying in the group, whenever you're into it with Lisa and then you guys get cool, some information comes out. So it's almost as if before you guys even get cool, she puts the signal out for people to dig up dirt on you, and then it's out there like almost instantly. So that is why Brahman was not trying to show up. She does end up showing up. She just shows up later. I think like literally the same day. She just shows up a couple hours later. So there are no charges on Bronwyn, and she does want to make that clear. So she really has a good clearing sit down with the ladies, which I thought was way better than Lisa's clarity brunch or whatever. But there's no charges on Bronwyn. So what we understand is she was 19 when she did not pay rent. She was pregnant. She did not pay rent at her at BYU, her like last month's rent, and that's what was coming out. And then we're also finding out in an unrelated incident at a job she had, she corroborated with police on a case back at school that has been sealed. And this is all being lumped under fraudulent activity or whatever, because like when you don't pay your rent, you are technically a fraud. You are, but it was nothing. It was never no charges. It was like, this hasn't been paid, yada, yada, yada. She's never had any criminal charges. So we get that clear, straight to the point. Now, it is safe to say, as she's explaining this, Lisa, and she's like, I do question if someone in this group has brought this to the center stage. And Lisa does get very offended very fast. And I kind of thought she literally threw herself under the bus in the midst of all of that, because I was just like, dang, Lisa, nobody was even talking to you. And then she got very defensive. And like I said, she was already like ready to defend herself. So it was kind of giving like, dang, Lisa, like, are you in the midst of this? Like, are you like, you literally just out of yourself? Keep in mind, in the midst of all of this, Angie was so excited to get on this yacht. She was hugging everybody, doing this, doing that. And Angie already seasick. She don't have her sea legs. She is sick at the ocean. So she literally was already sick. So that's unfortunate. Also, so we get that Lisa going off, she's already has it in her head this is gonna get spent towards her, and then we get that epic blowout. She's already thinking, oh, y'all are trying to pin this on me. So maybe that's why she's like super defensive. I don't know. I thought it was very defensive. I was just like, girl, is it that deep? And then we have Heather and Whitney. The cousins are lit. They were really lit to start out. They wasted no time. Heather, so I'm just going through scenes right now that I have. Heather kind of admits that her and Jason already effed around. I'm thinking she knows Jason from BravoCon. Apparently, her and Whitney know Jason. He's chartered one of their yachts before, so they've met and they've had a good time or whatever. And then she was like, because like Brittany's clearly interested in Jason, even though Brittany's on a 30-day cleanse from Jared. She has this unicorn, all of this stuff. I don't know. She's literally on a 30-day cleanse from Jared. That's not stopping her from trying to get to know the entire crew, including the gay people, because it's like they're not even playing for your team, honey. But she's just so thirsty for men. She's very thirsty for men. That's just her personality. So Heather is super drunk because she's like, because Brittany's like, well, why are you literally flirting with Jason? Like, I'm trying to get in there. And she's like, oh, like, me and Jason, like, we're just friends. Like, we effed around like it was nothing. And then she says, I literally don't know why I said that in her confessional. Like, Heather admits, like, she doesn't know why she said it. I'm like, does Jason know that you were going to say this? So now I wonder, BravoCon's coming up. I'm wondering if that's going to be a question. Like, is Jason going to be like, did they mess around or not? Because I know he's been messing around. He's messed around with a couple of ladies in Bravo Universe. Like, I know that for a fact, especially because some of the girls was interested, and I know he was interested in some of the girls, but I didn't know Heather was even on his radar ever. I thought they were just good friends. So I don't know if Heather was just drunk saying that, because in her confessional, she seemed embarrassed and like she did not want them to use that at all. But now Brittany is flirting with Zhao. I'm also really excited, guys, because I watch Below Deck. I'm so excited to see Chef Ben back. I'm excited that Daisy has found a home, because we don't know what's happening with Sailing Yacht, with Gary and all those accusations against Bravo. Like, honestly, it's not looking good for Sailing Yacht. Like, I think Sailing Yacht actually may be canceled because of the allegations. So I'm so glad that Daisy, it looks as though, has a place on a Below Deck, because I really like Daisy. She's probably one of my favorite chief stews, and I'm just glad she could be with Captain Jason, and I'm glad Chef Ben is back. I'm even glad to see Crazy Giles, Crazy Butt. But I digress. So it was just crazy to me to see Brittany flirting with Zhao. So I'm like, girl, you was just interested in Jason. You was interested in the guy making your drinks at the bar. I just can't keep up with Brittany. She's boy crazy. Like, she literally is boy crazy. So we get another scene with Bronwyn talking to the ladies, and I can't remember who she's talking about, but she makes a valid point about how whoever like, she thinks it is Lisa, especially after Lisa kind of just threw herself under the bus, because Lisa called her Conwyn, and this person is using Conwyn, but it is found out that Lisa actually said Fraudwin. She didn't say Conwyn. But are the two very similar? Yes. Do they have the same meaning? Yes. And it's like, are you giving these blogs this information? And then they're using the same name you kind of like used for me. Like, it would make sense. I understand what her angle was. However, the blog did not say Fraudwin. Now, if it said Fraudwin, I'd be like, yikes. But I'm like, Conwyn, I don't know. Like, it's pretty clever, like Conwyn and Fraudwin. Like, they're both kind of clever. And it's just crazy because they last left off on good terms. But Heather and Whitney are placing themselves in charge of getting to the truth, even though they are both lit. They are litter than a 99 night. I was born in 99. They are lit. So they bring in Meredith, and I even think Meredith is lit. But if I'm on a yacht, I'm probably gonna be lit, especially because you pay all that money and you get drinks whenever you want. I think Meredith's even lit, because Meredith says she think that Lisa was talking to the blogs inappropriately. She got her glasses on. She's doing her head nod. It is giving. Even Meredith's lit. And they're all trying to figure it out. So Brahman runs back. So Bronwyn is rooming with Brittany. The room situation is literally, Lisa Whitney, um, not Lisa Whitney, yikes. It's Lisa, Meredith, Angie, and Mary. And then it's Heather and Whitney, and Bronwyn and Brittany. So Brittany and Bronwyn, I don't know, they went shopping or something. I don't know if this was like on the boat, like if they docked and they were able to go shopping on the island. But I didn't like what Bronwyn did. Like basically getting information out of Brittany about the ladies in the group, runs back and tells Lisa and Meredith in a very mean girl way on some how Brittany views them and how she thinks that Meredith pretends to have seizures. And I thought that was kind of crazy to say. I'm like, not seizures. And so literally Brittany gets drenched in the process. Keep in mind, Brittany was already getting drenched because they made it a game of like whenever Brittany literally said or thought the word Jared, they would literally make it like a Opa game, like, oh, we're throwing a bucket of water on you. So this time Meredith gets activated, just literally from hearing that her seizures were fake. And it's like she never even had a seizure or whatever, her episodes or whatever. She's never even pretended to have a seizure. So she gets the bucket of water and like throws it on Brittany. And I didn't really like the whole throwing that on Brittany. And I just love the fact that Bronwyn got wet in the process, because I don't like when Bronwyn kind of like seeks out information and then runs back. And she's done this to Brittany a couple times. And I don't know, it gives very like calculating. It is calculating. Like she knows exactly what she's doing. But I just didn't really enjoy that. And I'm just like, girl, what are you doing? Like, I don't understand what she's doing. So she literally gets drenched in the process. Like, honestly, as you should. And I'm just like, girl, what was like literally, what was the point of that? So yeah, Meredith drenched her, and you just have so many moving parts. There's another epic fight that happens, Heather versus Lisa, and Heather's like, you need to be honest about this information, and Lisa gets very triggered. She's like, I cannot believe you're saying I'm talking to the blogs, the podcast, all this stuff is like the worst thing on the earth, like to be talking to the media in a negative way. She gets super triggered. She calls John to come and get her, even though she's like in the middle of nowhere. And she has a very bad breakdown, which to me says you're pretty guilty. Like she's like crying and stuff. They're trying to serve the ladies the food. And then you have the juxtaposition of Mary and Angie just chilling. And I'm shocked Mary was in that room with Angie. Angie's like throwing up every 10 seconds. And then she's like literally covered in ice, and then Jason's checking on them, and then you have the crew dropping off the food, and Mary's so excited about her entree and like her different plates being delivered. It was just an amazing 10 out of 10 episode. That was honestly like the fast recap. And like I said, like I was shocked that Mary honestly stayed back with Angie, but she really didn't want to be in the mess. And then we get Heather going back to the room to really like apologized for being loud and saying like she had to tell Lisa that everyone knows it's her. So everyone thinks Lisa is this leaker. Like she's the one that's running to the blogs. Everyone is on the same page when it comes to that, because even Angie and Mary, who aren't a part of the conversation, are like, Mary's like, well, you had to say it. You had to say it. Like, it's good you said it. So I'm really excited for the episode tomorrow, which when you guys are hearing this will be out. I'm really excited for that episode coming out because it was just such a really good episode. There were so many moving parts and everyone really clocked in and did their big one. I even think Brittany clocked in and did her big one, even though she's like a literal mess. But I just thought it was a really good episode. And I'm like, okay, so like now this is what I'm here for, because I can't lie, like watching it, I was kind of like, oh my gosh, it's kind of giving like, theatrics. They always give theatrics. And I'm like, is this really Housewives? Or like, am I really watching Housewives? Like, I don't know. But I don't know. It was an amazing episode. I want to talk about Potomac really briefly, and I'm going to sign out of here. I'm telling you, I got to figure out when I'm going to record. Maybe I'll be recording during like my lunch breaks now, because it is so dark. I mean, good thing I have my lighting, but like it is so dark. I'm like looking at the time, like it feels like it's like 8:00, but it's like only 6:30. Thank the Lord. Let's talk about Potomac. I just watched the episode, so it's very fresh. Who do you guys think should be on the chopping block. We have a group of ladies on Potomac. We have a lot of women on Potomac currently. I think Ashley is on the chopping block. And yeah, I think Ashley, her only sole purpose on the show is literally to come for Stacy, and it's really getting exhausting. She thought she had tea talking about Stacy and Chris Samuels. The gag is Stacy didn't even know Monique. She's never met her. I mean, she eventually meets her, but they were both separated. There was no drama there. So it's like, I don't understand Ashley's whole motto of like, you think you got some tea on me, but it's like the gag is, I don't know Monique. I've never filmed with her. I was never on the show with her, and they weren't married, and I was not married. And this was a long time ago. We were both going through divorces. Like, there's no shade or tea on that. Now, if there's an overlap, that's different, but there isn't. If this just proves anything, it proves how small Potomac is. I mean, you already got two castmates being arrested. Like, you already know Potomac's small. So I just don't know what Ashley's MO is. Like, it's like you're always trying to gag someone with something, but it's never tea. So it's like, I don't even know what she's talking about. I honestly do like Angel. I do think she's sensitive, but I like her. I don't know if this platform's for her, but I do like Angel, and I like that she was vulnerable. And it seems as though after the night they had, like, she had a night with the ladies, it seems as though she had a good time. But, we've all been there when it's like, you think you had a good time, you wake up the next day and you're just kind of like, wait, that was actually cruel what those women did. Because I'm telling you guys, Potomac will never pass the hazing allegations for me, especially knowing that Giselle, Wendy, and Robin Dixon were all a part of a sorority. Not the same one, but whatever. And now we know Jossie is a part of one. It'll never like amaze me how they do these hazing sorority rituals. And it's crazy because it's like Wendy sat around that group and asked Stacy, do you enjoy eating balls or something? And it's just like so disgusting. And then it's like you ask Angel, who in this group would you kill? It's really like interesting, deep, twisted games to kind of get to know each other, but kind of put each other down. And that's what sororities do. It's all about kicking you to your most vulnerable until getting you to shed down. You want to become so small of yourself so you have people to lift you back up. That's how they work, right? So Angel realizes the next morning she's kind of really hurt by Giselle. Like, even though she did pick Giselle to kill, she's like, you know what, I would kill Giselle because it's like calling out my Facetune, all that stuff is like unnecessary. We all edit images. Like, come on. Let's not act like we all don't smooth out the lines or the blemishes and stuff. Did the picture look like her? No, it did not. And I can't lie. Angel, it did not look like you. But I'm with Tia. I would not have brought that out. Especially in front of the group. I feel like it was very Mean Girls. So Angel actually breaks down to Giselle, and she's essentially like, "I didn't expect that from you, coming from another mother." And Giselle honestly does apologize. You can tell Giselle didn't know it was that deep. But the thing is with Giselle, and that's the thing with these sorority girls, is day and night. At night, you somebody else. In the morning, you want to be this big sister. And it's crazy to me that Angel already placed her in this big sister role. And it's like, you don't even know this girl. Why are you calling this why would you think she your big sister? Like, I don't know. But Angel even talks about how, like, she just had a baby 19 months ago, and her career is literally her appearance. She works in reporting and stuff. Like, that was her job. And, to have her body look this way after motherhood is very different. But the thing is, I will say, which I agree with Giselle, is like, she was not mother shaming you, or body shaming you at all. She was saying your picture looked filtered, but even after you do have a child, your face changes. Like, you still have that puffiness and stuff. So I just think Angel was very sensitive to it in the moment. I understand why. But let's not get it confused. When Angel left that party, she had a good time. And after she got on that couch with Kay is when her tune changed. And I do think that is something to make note of, is like your energy did really switch promptly after hanging out with the girls, and then you see your girl Kay, and now all of a sudden, you know, stuff not cool. So, I mean, I think that was wise for Jossie to point out. It's like, it seemed as though you had a good time. And she's saying, actually, I did not have a good time. I don't know. Wendy does think, though, Angel and Kay are like the permanent sad girl duo. And I will just say, like, Kay just kind of had an attitude. But Kay, from her perspective, she's like, it's just a lot. She's like, I thought me and Jossie were cool. We're not. I'm dealing with the stuff from Wendy. Now you guys are coming for my friend. I just wanted to, escape. And now I'm just seeing, I don't know, with Potomac. Potomac, I enjoy it. Like, I'm not about to complain about it. I'm enjoying it. I'm so glad it's back on my screen. But what I will say is, like, you can see the producers working at hand so much. Like, why are y'all working OT to produce storylines? Wendy was not upset that Kay left during her birthday celebration. But now we want to make it a thing that Kay leaving was disrespectful, even when she said she was tired. Like, you can just tell when they're like, okay, well, Kay, why would you leave? Like, Wendy was clearly hurt from that. Wendy's not even at the table to address it because Wendy gets sick out of nowhere after questioning Giselle on her love life. Like, out of nowhere, Wendy's sick in bed. I don't know. I thought that was a little weird. Like, you went from being outside to, like, being cool, but hey, those sicknesses, they do creep up on you. But I'm just saying, like, you was just cool questioning Giselle about her whole love life. And then a scene later, like, we're having production pull her aside. Like, it's like this whole thing, and she needs to sit down. And I'm just like, okay, like, it could have just been like I'm not feeling good. Like, why has it become such a big deal? I don't know. I don't know. I'm like, where am I at? That was kind of the episode. I will also say Angel's kind of falling into that WAG world, and I'm just kind of like, maybe you should join WAGs to Riches on Netflix, because she does keep bringing up her man now. So I wasn't upset when she brought up how he wanted to charter a plane to come get her, and when he was reading the Girls for Filth saying, some of them girls are 60 years old acting this way. Like, gag the girls. I love that. But then when she's like, he sent me 5,000, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be your bestie. But no, I'm gonna just be like, girl, okay, now we talking about Bobby too much. Now your whole personality is being literally Bobby's wife. That's becoming your whole personality. I would never, even if I am receiving money from my man, announce that to the group. It just gives such pick me energy. Like, my man takes care of me. He just sent me 5,000. Like, girl, I really don't care. Like, does it really matter where the money comes from? That's like back in Roni Days season 8, one of the best seasons of Real Housewives of New York, when literally Jules is like, oh my gosh, Michael, like, deposit money into my account for like the lottery or whatever. I mean, the casino. And Dorinda's like, I hate when she announces it. She's like, I might have John send me money, but I'm not going to announce it. And it's like, I don't know why you're announcing it. Like, I don't know. I just get the ick when women are like, oh my gosh, my man sent me this amount of money. Like, I'm literally about to, where I'm going to spend it on shopping. Like, we could have just kept that to ourselves. I would have been like, I'm ready to shop. Like, I'm ready to go spend some money. Let's go shop. I'm not about to be like, my man sent me some money. And so I just thought that was kind of pick me. I thought that was the only thing that kind of bugged me. This episode was cool. It was a nice slowdown. If anything, it's taught me that Ashley really is not needed. I really don't think she's needed. But this week, recapping from last week for Housewives, I would say Salt Lake City really stood out to me because that episode was just literally amazing. There will not be a what's the reality on what the reality this week, because I still need time to research my topics. And I'm at that point now in the months where, like, I get those 5 weeks, and I really like to have like 2 parts spread out in like the middle of the month, so it's not like too long of a gap. So I'd rather take off like 2 weeks in between. Like, it'll line up perfectly right before the holidays that I have 2 episodes coming out. But I will have a what's the reality topic coming out next Friday. Yes, see, it would line up perfectly. Honestly, I probably should have done one this week, but I can't. I have too much going on with this certificate I'm trying to get. So yes, next week I will have one, and then I'll have one literally on Black Friday. Like, November, we can slow down already. But yes, we won't have one this week. Something's telling me I'm still trying to figure out which one I want to do. Or maybe I want to do like a mini topic, because I did a mini topic on Shannon Bedore and I can't remember his name. I cannot remember his name. the Shannon Bedore and the producer from like Bravo's Love Hotel. I cannot remember his name, but I did like a mini episode on him and her fallout. Maybe I'll do like a mini this month because it's like a holiday month. Maybe I won't do anything that's too deep, or maybe I'll do something Bravo related that takes up 2 parts. I don't know. I still have to look at my topics. Guys, if you saw my topics, you would be like, oh my gosh, you have a lot to pick from. There's so many falling outs. And keep in mind, I'm rewatching Beverly Hills right now, and there will eventually be a Kyle versus LVP. It depends how far I get in this podcast. Like, that might be a next year topic. Like, I don't think I'll ever do Kyle and LVP given the fact that it's November now. Like, oh my gosh, it's November now. Kyle and LVP might need 3 parts. But yes, that was the episode. There will just be 1 episode this week. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you guys give me a 5-star rating and leave a comment. And until the next time, I will see you next Tuesday for Toxic Tuesday. See you later.